In this video, I'll be talking about the elements of an organization's marketing environment. There are two types of external marketing environment a marketer must be made aware of. These are the internal and external circumstances. They are defined as external environment because they are factors that are outside the organization and beyond its scope of control. They have a huge and far-reaching impact on the potential success of any marketing plan. An organization's microenvironment is made up of immediate, distinct external factors that have an impact on an organization and its success. They are the industry forces surrounding a company that directly affect its ability to serve its purposes and meet its objective. The specifics of each of these categories depend greatly on the industry the organization operates within and its aims, but the broad categories remain the same. These elements are customers, competitors, suppliers, and third parties. Customers are the party who purchases and benefits from the goods or services provided by the organization. This is probably the most central element in the micro elements to consider. Competitors are other organizations providing the same or similar goods or services that can make those sold by the organization obsolete or of reduced value. Suppliers are providers of required materials for an organization to function. These can include services as well as products, particularly digital tools. Third parties refers to any third-party intermediaries upon which an organization depends to make sales, including distributors, agents, or applications that allow organizations to reach customers. There are several frameworks that allow companies to assess the forces at play in the microenvironment. The most widely accepted of these is the buy forces framework, which helps to determine an organization's potential to be profitable based on an assessment of the microenvironment. These five forces are threat of entry, threat to substitutes, bargaining power of customers, bargaining power of suppliers, and scale of rivalry. The Porter's five forces framework is used to evaluate the micro element of an organization's marketing environment. An organization's macro environment is made up of the wider variables in local, national, and global society, which the organization has no control over, but that have an impact on the probable success and the value of the organization. These are not distinct groups that the organization comes into contact with, as in the microenvironment, but are more thematic or conceptual. The elements of an organization's microenvironment that must be evaluated and assessed are all found in the PESTLE model. The PESTLE model is a simple framework for taking this concept and assessing their direct impact on an organization. PESTLE incorporates the following factors: political, economic, sociological, technological, and environmental factors. For a positive impact on a business or businesses,